Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our Eibar career mode here. Decided to go ahead and bring this series back as well with our Lee Sung-woo career mode, just trying to get back into the swing of things. I know the videos are still not as consistent as we were doing before, but as I'm getting back into the swing of things, hopefully you guys understand the lack thereof of videos these next couple weeks. This is pretty exciting. I can't remember. I may have actually played a couple of these games off camera just because I was trying to forward the series if I was going to bring it back, but decided to go ahead and just jump back in where we are now because we are playing Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League, trying to get a few more points in the group and hopefully solidify our spot in the group. That way we can move on to the knockout rounds. Bayer Leverkusen, obviously a good team. We're pretty safe into going through into the next round, so I didn't feel like I needed to play the best team possible, but definitely wanted to play players that are in good form and wanted to play. And Gudinho in keeper is the big, I guess, shocker you could say in starting in this game, but felt pretty confident bringing him in. Zoe's been doing well, but Gudinho's just as good of a keeper, so wanted to give him the opportunity. We had a lot of shakiness going on in the back line of this team in this game. For whatever reason, we were getting incredibly lucky. The ball was bouncing off our defenders back and forth. Gudinho was making incredible saves. Everything was just working pretty well for us, to be honest. And we managed to get a breakaway here, but Vardy is not able to catch up to the pass. So I'm hoping... If you guys have noticed, my through balls aren't that great, obviously, in this game, but they're not that strong in the game altogether. And I'm hoping if you guys have seen any of the gameplay for FIFA 17, you have seen the driven through balls, you have seen that the through balls just look better altogether. And I'm hoping that that is good things to come for me in the next game. It's definitely going to be something I'm interested in and something that I'm going to focus on heavily whenever it comes to playing in the next FIFA with my next few career modes that I do. So going into the second half, it's still 0-0. Didn't really know what to take from that. I started getting a little impatient here in the 51st minute, and it actually ended up costing me. Just pulled one defender out too far and ended up sliding in just to try to save myself because I realized I did mess up. And doing that ended up putting me in a pretty bad spot. So that is kind of where this game is going to end, sadly. Getting a 1-0 loss in this game was nothing I was planning on. I was thinking realistically we could get a draw out of this game. I still felt pretty confident. Like I said, the back line wasn't feeling very good. My striking was a little shaky. We weren't able to hit the corners as well as I needed to actually grab goals. But other than that, I think we played pretty well in this game, and I was pretty confident going into the rest of the episode, the last two games of the episode. Just making sure that we carry on any momentum that we did pick up in this game. As you see, they had more opportunities, they had more possession, they definitely deserved to win that game, but I think we'll still be able to close out the group really well and move forward into the knockout stages of the Europa League. Our next game, though, is going to be back into La Liga. So we're going up against Celta Vigo, and wanted to play a little bit, like I said, again, a little bit of a weaker squad. This wasn't too big of a game. I wasn't too worried about it. We do have a cup game after this, so I was going to play some decent players here and there, but also give a couple players rest as I could. Decided to look at Douglas and possibly put Mings in there, but it didn't really look like that was going to be such a good idea. So we're going to have Iheanacho up top, Timo Werner back in center attacking mid because he has been a little out of form. I was thinking about using him at cam, but we decided to go ahead and put Gold in instead, and then hopefully bring on Timo Werner a little bit later on. In La Liga, we are still the best defensive team with only 4 goals conceded. So as long as we can keep that record going, I think we'll be in a really good spot. Not to necessarily say that we need to be the best defensive team in the league the whole time, but just to keep that reputation. Hopefully in the top 5 best defenses in La Liga, we'll be in a good spot. Here, the keeper just makes a weird mistake and kicks it straight at my player and ends up bouncing over, but King is not able to lob that over accurately enough to actually grab that goal to give us an early lead. But here and around the 12th minute, we actually managed to grab the ball one more time as they're trying to counterattack us. They weren't making very intelligent runs, and my defenders were strong enough to actually pull it away from them the majority of the time, along with my midfield. So I was never really too worried in this game. Here in the 14th minute, King ends up going down the flank and just cutting that ball in, looking for any sort of position he could get. Like I said, the defenders on this team were making some weird moves, and it ended up just working out for us well. That they ended up kind of backing off of us, and we just took our opportunities when needed. Passed that ball off to Danny Garcia. He hit it straight at a defender, but ended up rebounding it and knocking it into the back of the net. So that gave us a 1-0 lead pretty early on into this game, which had me pretty confident. Here I'm just putting on a little bit of pressure, obviously, in the start of kickoff, and King's actually able to grab it, and he ends up getting hit right there, and I'm not too sure if I would have really considered that a foul. Obviously, it didn't get called that way, and I wasn't really too sure how I felt about it, so we just kept moving forward. It didn't really ruin any chances that I had. Iheanacho was just able to bring that from the left side to the right side across the box and slat that into the bottom right corner. So giving us a 2-0 lead, again, pretty early on. Feeling extremely confident. La Liga is definitely something that I'm looking forward to at least getting top 4 in, if not actually pushing for a top 2 spot. Obviously, beating out Barcelona and Real Madrid are going to be pretty difficult, but I think honestly that I'm getting to the point where I feel confident enough against the rest of the teams in the league that it may actually be possible. Here, Iheanacho is actually able to grab the 3rd goal of the game in the 30th minute, so team's looking incredibly good. The positioning of Iheanacho is getting so much better every single week. He's just right there for the cleanup in a lot of situations, and it's making it a lot easier to move forward and kind of do what I want to do with some of the other players. Let them have a creative outlook and try to work their way around the box and know that Iheanacho is going to be in the correct place at the right time. So as we're kind of closing out FIFA 16, obviously we'll probably be in the last season or 2 of this series along with our Lee Sung-woo career mode. I am very excited to move forward into the next FIFA. I'm trying to decide if I want to play on the Xbox One or PS4 next year. So if you guys have any preference on that, let me know. This year, obviously, I played on the PS4 if you guys did not know. But I do have the Xbox One as well. If you guys want to see some Ultimate Team videos in the next year, then obviously I will get the game for Xbox One, just so that I do have the opportunity of getting Legends in the game. So just let me know in the comment section down below whether or not that you're interested in something like that. Here, keeper makes another error and actually gives the ball straight to Iheanacho, who's able to give us a 4-0 lead before the first half is over. So this is a little bit of a longer video just because of all the highlights that do come in this game. It was a very fun game to play. I really do enjoy playing the Eibar career mode, and I'm definitely going to be bringing it back next year because I love playing with this team. I love the ability that I have to build this team. With the little money that you get, building a team like this is just incredibly satisfying. The players that I have now are players that you never think I would actually have had the money for in the beginning of this series. So just to have that kind of capability to build a team like this after a couple seasons of work, just getting those youth players, making those youth players better, selling them off, buying better players, just working our way through the transfer market, doing anything we can to better this team. It gets incredibly satisfying, and you grow a connection with the team no matter what, absolutely. So very confident playing with this team, very comfortable playing with this team. Definitely going to be bringing that series back. Looking for another career mode to do next year as well, possibly going to be a BPL series, maybe do Middlesbrough. I know they're obviously getting a lot of players this year that are looking pretty interesting. Maybe look at going into Bundesliga because I have avoided that. Bayer Leverkusen's one of my favorite teams in that league, so maybe I do something with them, just kind of depending on how comfortable I am with that team in the next game. So if you guys have any suggestions about that as well, leave me that down in the comment section below. And I'm continuing to take suggestions for my next player career mode, whether or not that will stick with Lee Sung-woo, or we will start to look at maybe another wonder kid, or just maybe create a player altogether and look for a new position. But here in the 52nd minute, Iheanacho is actually able to grab his 4th goal of the game and give us a 5-0 lead. So at this point, I kind of changed up the formation, as you guys saw before the second half started, just because I wanted to bring in a couple other players here and there that really weren't going to fit the formation that I was playing, and I figured, may as well have some fun with this because we are getting into a kind of jokeable point in this game. So maybe I should have taken it a little bit more serious, as you guys are going to see right here. I was just kind of joking around, playing around, doing whatever I wanted to just get through the game, basically, because it was taking too long at this point. I just kind of got bored with it. So in the 56th minute, I'm just kind of knocking the ball back and forth, not making really intelligent passing or anything like that. So they work their way up the field. Fernandez ends up getting the ball, pushes it out to Malo. Malo ends up pulling it back into Lopez, and Lopez passes it forward to Aspas, who ends up sliding it past my keeper. So a wonderful goal. Celta Vigo played actually slightly decent in this game when it came to attacking. It was just their defending that let them down in this game. As you're going to see one more time here in the 85th minute, just working their ball around. Orellana ends up getting that ball out, and I believe that was Fernandez. It may have been actually a different player, but it was a goal that I didn't really want to concede, but it was a beautiful goal nonetheless. So we did only end up winning this game 5-2, and I say only loosely, obviously, but would have been nice to keep that the 4-goal let-in rate that we've been going on so far. To keep that going would have been really nice, but to only concede 6 goals in the games that we've played is still really impressive, and obviously scoring 5 goals in this game felt the same way. So going into the last game of the episode, it is in the Spanish Cup, and we wanted to go ahead and put our best foot forward, even though we were playing a pretty weak squad. Obviously, the lower levels of La Liga was CD Lugo, so we wanted to go ahead and play some of our weaker players. So I actually gave our keeper his first starting game for the squad. As you see here, we ended up buying him from Atletico Madrid. He is our 70 rated keeper right now, if you guys do remember, and definitely a starlet to watch between having Zoet out there and obviously Gudinho as well. I believe that this guy's going to give us some good things here in the future. And here in the 25th minute, we do have a few of our other youth players in the squad. A couple the Korean players. Dembele actually gets back into the squad and grabs a goal here in the 25th minute. Just working our way with some of the younger players, giving them a little bit more gameplay time, just to give them more, I want to say, confidence, comfortability, and a lot of other things going on with this team. Make sure they're happy, they're still progressing, they're getting better, because their time is going to come where I'm going to need them to play, whether it's because my team is too tired or because I end up losing one of my star players. So the time's definitely coming for them to make strides into our team, and I would love to see it. Here in the 29th minute, they actually managed to work the ball pretty well into our third, but I pulled it back, but Kim didn't really have the touch he needed to keep the ball at his feet. So Martinez ends up grabbing the ball, and a beautiful strike from about 40 yards out to give them a 1-1 tie as of right now. Here going into the end of the first half, still at 1-1, was a little shaky at this point. Obviously, I knew I had been playing a lot of weaker players, but I still was pretty confident in my team. But going into the second half, I knew I was going to have to bring somebody else in. The passing was atrocious from them, as it was for me. It just didn't feel like my players were capable of hitting those through balls the way I needed them to, hit those driven passes the way I needed them to, and give us the opportunities we needed to continue to do well. So going into the second half, I wanted to bring in Timo Werner, give him his opportunity at left mid against a weaker squad to kind of get his confidence back up. So bringing in Timo Werner was a very good decision on my part, if I do say so myself. He's obviously a strong physical player, and he was able to kind of bully around some of the weaker players on the other team. And he grabs the ball, takes it into the box, and gets taken down, giving us a penalty opportunity against CD Lugo to take the lead in this game in the 55th minute. Dembele knocks that straight into the top right corner, a beautiful penalty nonetheless, and gives us that 2-1 lead. So we are going to jump forward here into the 84th minute. We get one more opportunity before this game is over. there wasn't really much going on, and I did want to keep this episode sort of short after that long middle game did last. We end up getting one more penalty here. Just another penalty opportunity, another sloppy tackle from them. Honestly surprised that neither one of those were red cards, especially this one. I know obviously he came in from an angle, but that was pretty unnecessary contact, if I do say so myself. So Dembele, I try to shoot it in the same spot. He ends up blocking it. That was my fault. Should have gone the other direction, or at least done something different with it. My crossing's getting a little bit better. I'm still not getting as many opportunities as I would like. But you know, you take it as you will. Here we give up another foul, just trying to make sure that they didn't counterattack us while our entire team was forward. And here in the 90th minute, they get one more opportunity, and I end up pulling a defender the wrong way, but our keeper Romero is there to make sure that nothing ends up falling into the back of the net. So that is how this game is going to end, and how this episode is also going to end. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Give me any comments that you guys have about FIFA 17 career modes, and what you guys would like to see at the end of FIFA 16 as we're closing it out in the next month or so. So like I said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later.